Welcome back to episode number
Two.
of oh my God, Let the Boys Watch. I'm sorry. I can
You got too many
I
podcasts,
see
baby.
I see you going great in the background. All right, welcome back to episode number two of Let the Boys Watch, a entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie. Alongside me is the man who prepped Kerry for her audition tape, cousin Benny. What were you thinking?
Yo, she has it.
She does have it. And then the man that was next in line to sing karaoke after Connor, one of our co-hosts, our good friend, Ryan.
You know it. I had my song ready and everything.
We did. We talked about that a long time ago.
So yeah, this is Let the Boys Watch. It is a entertainment podcast, and currently we are watching and reviewing Succession season 4. This is episode 2, Rehearsal. And we're gonna be doing episodes like this for the rest of Succession. And after that, we'll do, I don't know, whatever the fuck we want. So send us an email at ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. I fucking got it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. And yeah, send us, what you thought about the episode. Tell us we're fucking stupid or tell us we're great. I'd prefer that, but
Let us know
whatever.
if you want to come break down an episode with us.
Yeah, I don't want to say all is welcome, but almost. Almost.
Yeah. Also, let us know that we're not serious people. So
Yes,
please.
we are not. Definitely not serious people.
No.
And speaking of those emails, we got one.
Woo.
How sexy is that?
It's fucking sexy.
Yeah. While Robbie gets that email ready to go, I just want to remind everyone that you should, if possible, it's not hard, rate, review, follow. Like I said, send us an email. Follow us on Instagram. I don't remember the account name, but it'll be in the show notes. I don't know.
Let the boys watch pod.
Thank you, Benny. See, that's why you're on the show. And
Smartest one here.
I think we normally or originally set out to release these every Thursday, but we're gonna try and pump these out and have them out on Tuesday. But we'll see what we could do.
Yeah. A little more instant reaction for you guys.
Yeah, hopefully. Robbie, you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Please take it away.
Well, our inaugural email is from a friend of the program, good friend of ours, and my Bill, acronym for brother-in-law. This one comes from Brian, and he titles the email Succession, Season 4, Episode 1. Hey,
Great
guys.
title.
Fantastic title. Hey, guys. Loving the new podcast. Thanks, Brian. Succession is a great show and full of great material for you guys to discuss. You did a great job of pointing out both the major and subtle details of the first episode. I'm just throwing out my feelings about the show over the span of the show and where it is heading. I don't know if what I'm going to say here is groundbreaking, but here are my thoughts. Logan obviously has a big ego and wants to remain at the top of the corporate world, and it clearly appears to make him mad that his kids are trying to beat him at his own game. I don't think that's what's truly pissing him off. I don't believe he is angry that his kids are trying to beat him. I think he is angry and frustrated that his kids have repeatedly failed at beating him. The title of this show is obviously Succession. Since the first episode of this show, he has been trying to determine who could, quote unquote, succeed him and take over his empire. He doesn't want to simply hand over the keys to the castle. He wants the empire he built to be in good hands. Well, get all state then. He wants his kids to make intelligent moves and be ruthless all at the same time and show that they're capable of taking over the family business. In a sick way, I think Logan's happiest and proudest moment was when Kendall tried to throw him under the bus at the press conference at the end of season 2. I happen to agree. Kendall was starting to prove that he could do what it was going to take to survive in the business, and that gave Logan a glimmer of hope that his empire could be in good hands. Again, call up Allstate. He was seeing something in Kendall for the first time. Unfortunately, Kendall relapsed in season 3 and broke down and showed once again that he still isn't tough and ruthless enough to take over. The kids are repeatedly failing Logan's tests. In the first episode of this season, Logan is frustrated and disappointed at his kids in the bidding war and says, Congratulations on saying the biggest number, you fucking morons. I don't think he was mad that they outbid him. I think he knows it isn't going to work out for them. Part of Logan wants to win that bidding war, but a bigger part of him wants his kids to be competent and make smart business moves. Saying the biggest number doesn't make them savvy business people. They probably aren't seeing the big picture. Logan knows he doesn't have much left to live, and he still has no faith that his kids are capable of taking over. He won't die in peace until the kids finally outmaneuver him. My prediction is the father will finally push one of the kids too far, and they will finally do something very drastic and cold-hearted that will finally legitimately knock the father out of the picture. It may catch Logan off guard and hurt him for a moment, but once the dust settles, he will actually be happy and content. His mission will be accomplished, and he will finally have molded one of the kids into what he wants him to be. I think he loves his kids, and the only way he knows how to show his love is by setting them up for Succession. Those are my thoughts for this week. I look forward to the next episode of Succession and the next episode of your podcast. Keep up the good work, Brian. Well, Brian, thank you so much for a fantastic email as always. And yeah, thank you for the constant support. And when I read this email, I was like, man, is this guy getting this stuff from different sources, different reading material? Because it was so spot on. And I never really thought, like, I know that these thoughts never really popped into my head while watching this show for like the past couple of years.
Agreed.
Yeah, I want to say first off, kudos to you for that fantastic reading out loud skills.
Yeah.
I could never have gone through an email that long without fumbling over my words.
Thank you.
But yeah, second, when I read that email, I thought the same exact thing. Is like that moment when Kendall does the press conference, that slight smile you see from Logan, you're like, everything clicked into place with what Brian said in that email, where he's just waiting for one of them to be a killer. That he always tells them that you're not a killer, you're not a killer. But it makes sense that that would be the perfect ending to his story in his mind, is one of the kids making a move on him.
Yeah, agree. I mean, why do you think he keeps giving Kendall all these chances? Like, he could easily just be like, go fuck off. I'll buy you out. Like, leave us alone. But he just keeps coming back. And maybe because he thinks he sees something in Kendall. Like, maybe Kendall can be the one to be the succession.
I think too, we get a little glimpse into that at the end of this episode too.
Yep.
With the way he goes to talk to them. He says that they have juice, and they actually made a move on him at the end of this episode. And I think he respects that.
Yeah, and we see Kendall give that little smirk. We'll talk about it later, I'm sure. But yeah, things are in motion.
Yep.
Robbie?
Yeah, and like I said, I never thought about it the way, Brian put it in the email. Obviously, I do think in a sick, twisted way, Logan does love his kids, of course. I also think that, he does want to see one of his kids become a killer. And I think in like my thoughts, I think that, like Benny said, I think he wants to be Kendall. I think, like, I don't want to get too far into what I'm going to say about Roman later, but I think that he knows that he can kind of manipulate Roman. So I'm not really sure if he fully trusts Roman, but I think that he really, really in his heart of hearts wants Kendall to snap out of it and become the killer. But yeah, I thought Brian's email was fantastic, and he honed in on some great points, and I totally agree with what he's saying now. Like, reading that email a couple of times and actually, like, finally, like, seeing the light, I guess, as to Logan's, I guess, succession plan, this whole series.
Yeah.
Like you said before, I'm constantly shocked, and I shouldn't be shocked because he's very intelligent, but like the analysis that Brian gives just in general, whether it's this or some of the other things that he's talked about, is spot on. Good for you, Brian.
Do you ever watch something and then you read maybe like Reddit comments after,
Yeah.
and things flew over your head, and you're like, wow, what did I even watch that for?
I am so stupid.
I'm a fucking idiot that I missed that. That's kind of what I felt like reading Brian's email. But yeah, like you said, great analysis. And maybe one day when he finishes washing dishes and gets out of the shower, we can have him on to talk about Succession.
He does take long showers, so we'll see. Hopefully by episode 10 he'll get out of the shower.
Maybe he'll do it from the shower. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, he'll just be like Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm preparing the food as I bathe. Yeah, so
Fantastic.
again, thanks, Brian. That was an awesome email. It's gonna be tough to top that. But
Hmm.
we want you all to try. So send us an email, let us know what you think, or give us something to think about, like Brian did. We appreciate it. And what do you think? Should we move on here?
So let's get into the episode.
Yeah, so what were you guys like first impressions, like, or I should say overall impressions of this episode? Last week we started with Benny last week. Robbie, you want to start this week after you burp?
This fucking gut drink ain't doing shit for you,
I
buddy.
know. I knew I had a funny feeling Ryan was gonna come to me, and that burp was like right here in my chest.
Get you here and right
and then
here.
and then he got me right here. I said, "Oh boy." I thought it was another strong episode. Do I think it was as good as episode one? Probably not, but I still enjoyed it. I loved it. I just love the dialogue, and I think it was a great episode. Obviously, setting us up for the upcoming episodes. I thought family dynamic. I loved it. Logan just pumping out his best Jordan Belfort speech, aka DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street, on a couple of printing paper. That was great. You had
Pulling
cousin
a
Greg,
Rupert Murdoch.
yeah, pulling a
Yep.
Murdoch. You had cousin Greg at his finest, just when he's so fucking awkward. I love it, and put in uncomfortable positions. But yeah, I love the episode. A lot of scheming and plotting, which is right in my wheelhouse. And I thought it ended strong, and I can't wait to see the next week's episode and what happens.
Benny.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this might be one of the top 5 best episodes of the whole entire show.
Wow.
I
Wow.
thought the acting from um, Logan, Brian Cox, was incredible. I thought the acting from Roman, uh, Kieran Culkin, was incredible. I mean, dude, Connor, man, the Cod Hens were eating right this episode. He
Oh my
had
God.
a fantastic like mini monologue at the end of the episode, and just his interaction with the siblings. I just love that whole storyline. I thought it was a great episode, top to bottom.
I once again am going to be a little contrary on this episode,
That's
but
okay.
as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I like it more. That my initial reaction right after the episode was, didn't love it. But let me set the stage real quick. So the right before we watched Succession, we watched a season finale of a other show we're watching called Yellow Jackets, which I recommend to anybody. And a lot of fucking crazy shit went down. So to come from that to do Succession, which is obviously a great show, but is not like crazy shit happening. It's dialogue, it's family drama, it's business, whatever. I was kind of just like during the episode, even though while I was watching it, I knew this is a good episode because like you guys said, the acting was fantastic, the dialogue was fantastic. But I'm not here to be on this podcast to lie about how I felt, but that's how I felt. I was just kind of like, didn't
I
love
love
it.
it. I mean, honestly, I like a dissenting opinion in the room, and I feel like we'll do a temperature check as we
Yeah.
end the episode and see if we pulled you on our side once again. But yeah, to me, I love this episode.
Yeah, I mean, some of the negatives, like just in general, and maybe that's why I also felt like that, is I kind of felt like while there was a lot to love about this episode, like you said, Connor, Logan, Roman, everyone, amazing acting. It felt like it was like a retread of like other things, like, oh, some ancillary character who's got a ton of money is like the one who's kind of like controlling the action. In this case, Matson, but in other cases, it was like whatever, Sandy and Stewie or whomever. And it was just like, well, what do you do? I don't know. What do you think we should do? Like, that's kind of how it felt at times. I was just like, all right, nothing groundbreaking here as far as the plot was concerned. But within that plot, there's a lot of good, again, dialogue and acting, and we saw a little bit more about some of these characters, but we'll get into all that. So that's how I felt. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how I feel at the end. Maybe I just like this show more than Succession.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, I'll take it.
So should we talk about like the opening scene? We'll start with the episode. You know, setting the stage. They are watching PGN, I believe it's called,
Mhm.
which is the network that they knew nothing about but decided to buy for $10 billion, and are just trashing it. But a couple things happen. What do you guys think about some of the stuff that went on during this opening scene?
I think that's a great point. What you're saying is like they bought this thing and they're like doing the research now.
Yeah,
Like now it's time to do research on Pierce. But you get your classic Kendall elevator pitches on what what shows they want to do,
Dookie.
and
All
yeah.
Love
Africa,
Dookie.
all Africa, all the time.
Yeah. I loved was it Shiv that said homework on TV or something?
Yeah, homework the show.
That was a great line.
um yeah, no, I think you're spot on with I think the whole point of that scene was to just show how little research they actually did, and it was just a spike buy more than anything else.
Have you ever bought anything out of spite?
Maybe a Snicker bar. Definitely haven't spent $10 billion on spike, I'll tell you that right now.
No.
All
I have
concert
to
tickets,
think
maybe.
about it. I'm sure that there was some time when I just bought something to just like show someone. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this fucker.
Right pair of
What
jeans, maybe.
Ugh, no, I can't do it. Maybe this summer. If I get invited to any garden parties, maybe I'll try it.
what'd you
Any
guys
boats
think of
on
the
it?
episode, the first scene?
Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, couple of funny things. Yeah, like we said, PGN, and then fucking typical Kendall with his just dog Dookie, Monday, Tuesday, Dookie. Like it's almost funny, but it just pisses me off so much how lame he is. Like imagine spending real time with that person.
Oh my God.
I would lose my mind. I would punch him. I mean, I wouldn't punch him, but I would want to. Um, and then I mean, I think one of the main pieces to this opening scene is Shiv getting that call,
Mm.
um, and getting mommed, as she said, by Tom and Logan. So that was quite a play, and I'm sure we'll. Well, I mean, we could talk about it now. Like, do you think that Tom really wants to fuck Shiv, or does he just want to be Logan's little bitch boy and do whatever he says, or maybe a mix of both?
Robbie, what do you think?
Well, I think that that phone call from where she was calling the lawyers and whatnot, that kind of set off
Yeah,
the motions for this episode. Her just being pissed off about that, setting it up now, like her trying to reach every lawyer in town and them just kind of just blackballing her because of Logan. It's kind of set up to say, all right, now I'm gonna try and fuck you over, Logan and Tom.
yeah. She called Sandy directly after that.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then that set that in motion to kind of kill the deal and get more money out of Gojo. But
Do you think she really wants more money with this, or do you think she just wants to fuck people?
I think she
I
wants
don't
to fuck
know.
people, but I don't know, Benny, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think definitely think it's to fuck Logan over, or at least, turn the heat up on him a little bit, make him work for it a little bit more. Because I didn't notice until I watched with captions on. Tom confirms that like he got the names from Logan.
Oh yeah,
So because he says, "Oh, we called all the people on Mr. Roy's list," so he gave him that list of people. So it's clearly a shitty move from Logan, and I think he told him exactly what to do: put all these people on retainer so they can't talk to Shiv. So I think, like she said, she got mommed, and she knew that play, and she wanted to inflict pain on Logan any way she could.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that she just was pissed off about that. I don't think that it was like you said. Of course, it wasn't Tom's doing. I don't think Tom wanted to do all that. I think it was just Logan. I think Logan knew what he was doing in the moment and what that reaction would do. I think he was just being salty because what the kids did the previous episode and how the kids aren't kind of around him and aren't, I guess riding his coattails at the moment. And he just wanted to get her attention or just get her pissed off and get her off for a game. And I don't know if he really succeeded, but you know, she just ran with it. And but I definitely think that it wasn't Tom's idea, obviously. I think like Benny said, he kind of confirmed that during the episode. So yeah, it was all Logan all the time, like it always
I,
is.
I think what he says though to Shiv is true. Like he knows how powerful they are and how much money they have and who they can she could hire every single one of those lawyers and they could all represent her in any divorce proceeding. So it's him kind of getting out in front of it and being like, listen, let's try to figure this out ourselves. Let's try to do this the civil way, the amicable way. And he's kind of protecting himself from, whatever legal hammer she could drop on him.
He's playing
So I
defense.
think, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Good offense is a strong defense.
That's what they say.
That's what I hear.
Oh yeah,
Defense wins championships.
it's true.
Um, yeah. So then, I think, was there anything else from this scene? I don't think so.
No.
No, not really. But yeah, I think
That
you're right.
transitions
Yeah, this
into,
kicks it off.
yeah.
They
It
didn't.
tra- Go
Oh,
ahead.
that what did they come back to Carrie's watching Carrie's audition, right?
Well, that scene transitions into the scene we've been getting in a lot of the trailers, which is Logan roaming the floors of ATN,
Yeah.
which I feel like they were kind of, I only watched like half the trailer because I don't like watching trailers,
Yeah.
but I feel like they were kind of making it seem like, oh, he's losing his marbles and just roaming the
Yeah.
office. But you see it's a little bit different. He's kind of just, he wants to see what people are doing down there. He's starting to nitpick about the chyrons, about the font sizes, all that kind of stuff. You get a lot of great, Ryan, you mentioned before we came on air some of the great Greg lines we got in this scene.
So
What do you
good.
think about that, Ryan? That scene?
No, it was great. Like you said, I mean, I think my favorite line or one of my favorite lines of the episode was when Greg's talking to Tom, which was funny because Tom's in the car and Greg calls him. He's like, Logan's here. And he just like, stop the car and just runs out.
Yeah.
and he's like, he's like Jaws if everyone worked for Jaws, which I thought was such a funny line. But yeah, like he's roaming the floor trying to get a sense of what's going on. He's going to micromanage this, or at least that's what he wants to do. I love that he's just pointing out specific employees and being like, only sent one email.
Yeah.
Don't exhaust yourself.
Yeah.
But like, how long was he watching them? Like, how many emails do you want him to send? Like 8 a minute? Like,
Yeah.
go out. But yeah, this was a funny scene, and I think I mentioned it quickly before, but that whole talking on top of paper boxes is straight from old Rupert's playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you, Robbie? What do you think of this scene?
I thought it was a great scene. I think Logan's back in his true element, his true love, and that's
The news.
the news and network TV, and especially ATN's news network. Another Greg a fantastic line is he looks like if Santa was a hitman.
Yeah.
No, I just love it. I mean, like Benny said earlier, like a fucking amazing performance by Brian Cox this episode. I mean, they gave him some fantastic stuff to work with. I thought it was a great scene. I just love, him just like patrolling the areas and just being surly and getting on any lowly employee. And I loved it. I loved Tom's little line about where I forgot her name. What's her name?
Sid.
Sid.
Sid, where Sid is, and he was like, "Oh, she always likes to leave early during opera season."
Yeah.
And then she came in and she came back at him, and I forgot what she said, but it was a good back and forth. And Tom's like, I can when he gets up on the boxes, he's like, I can kiss you from here or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't
So
catch that. I didn't catch that line till I watched with captions, but I was dying laughing when I heard that.
That was
it's
good.
so great. It was definitely one of my favorite scenes of the episode.
I think too, like Logan's kind of in his element of like, for so long he's kind of managing the big moves, the mergers, the things that they buy. Like he sees this as an opportunity to like build something again. And if, he mentions it, they always mention how clunky Waystar is and how it's a very not old, but like it's becoming an older company.
Right.
And it's like a ship, right? Like if it's a huge ship, it takes a long time to turn. They always kind of talk about that in like corporate world. But now he sees ATN as something that's small and they can make changes quickly, and he can build something new and leaner, like he said in the fantastic speech that he gave.
And it almost like takes a play out of like actual Rupert Murdoch, like selling the majority of like his stuff, or what, to Disney, I guess, right? But keeping like Fox News. So it didn't like 21st century, 20th century Fox or 21st century Fox sell off a bunch of their stuff to Disney or whatnot. But he particularly just kept, Fox News. Like that's his
Yeah.
baby. So that's why I feel like, it's like similar to what Logan is about to do, especially when they sell some of that stuff to Gojo.
Yeah, I mean, they
If
definitely
I'm
take
right.
yeah, they definitely take a lot of things from real life and just, dramatize it or whatever. I mean, I think we obviously know like ATN is supposed to be Fox News or some type of network like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think you guys are. I think, this is Logan's way to kind of like get back in the muck, get back in the fight. He got fat on top of Waystar Royco. Now he wants to kind of build something again. So he's gonna get, right in there and do stuff and hire Carrie and make her an anchor.
Yeah, that's such a funny little through line through this whole episode.
And was it the next scene when he goes up to the boardroom and they were watching it, or was there something in
Yeah.
between? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it was definitely the next Logan scene. I don't think that there's anything in between it though.
No, no. I mean, well, we could start talking about the tape because we've already kind of seen it at this point, or at least are aware of it. Um, that
Oh,
audition tape.
you know what we get in between, and we don't. It's not really something that we have to talk about, but it's the kids watching the tape because that's how you see the
Yeah.
tape for the first
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah. So that, I
But yeah,
mean, what'd you guys think of the tape, Benny? What'd you think of the tape?
oh my God, it was so awkward. I loved it. She did such a good job. Did you see she and I'm saying she, I shouldn't. Carrie's actress, I don't know, Zoe something off the top of my head. She said she drew inspiration by watching tape of Tammy Lauren and Laura
Oh,
Ingraham.
really?
Yeah, so I just love that she
I
kind of took
love
a
it.
shot at them. Um, but man, so awkward. I loved it. I love a good, when Greg is awkward. I love when she's awkward in that tape.
Yeah, I agree. But Robbie, what'd you think?
Nothing made me laugh when the kids were talking and she was talking about like she was reading the news and talking about like two kids being abducted and she started like smiling and laughing during
Yeah.
the
I think one of them says like, "Yeah, good time throwing a smile."
yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably like
must
Roman.
fool the humans.
Yeah, yeah.
She's yeah, I don't know her name in real life. Maybe I should do some
Zoe
research, but
Winters.
Zoe
Thank
Winters,
you.
she is unreal because I thought that I hated Cersei as one of the most hateable characters of all time. I think Carrie is my number one most hated character of all time because it,
Wow.
it it's
What?
the it's got to be the bangs and the hair and just her demeanor. But she pulled a what's his name, Ricky Bobby, and she just didn't know what to do with her hands throughout the whole audition tape.
Oh, from Anchorman.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Ricky
Talladega
Bobby. Yeah,
Nights.
when
Yeah,
he's
Talladega
getting
Nights.
interviewed. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
uh, fantastic. Just great acting all around, and it. I love secondhand embarrassment, and nothing makes me want to like pull the covers over my head than that. And that really was fantastic stuff. Great acting.
Most hateable character, really? Even more. There's more hateable characters in this show.
I don't think so.
Kendall.
No, Kendall's not a hater. He's a
I hate him.
fucking he's a Biff Henderson, but he's not my most. She's just like I'm like, oh, Carrie, get off my screen.
Oh, so you must love every time the kids dig her.
Oh my God, it's some of the best times of my life.
So this tape is, as we said, hilariously awkward and bad, and it's clear that she's not ready for live TV. But I loved the next scene after the newsroom scene or the bullpen scene where I forget what his name is.
Hugo,
Hugo, yes, thank you.
fucking pencil neck motherfucker.
Yeah,
Wait,
did you ever see Short Circuit? I'm pretty sure he's that guy.
I haven't seen it.
Of course you haven't. You guys haven't seen shit.
Hey,
I've seen Short
future
Circuit.
future
Yeah, he's
episode of
the
Let the Boys
guy.
Watch.
He's the fake Indian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
not
sure.
racist or anything.
But anyway, no, it's not. I mean, he was fake. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
like
Oh, you
Ben
mean on their
Kingsley.
part,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the filmmakers' part? Oh,
The
okay, yeah,
filmmakers, but yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Not
No,
Fisher
you're right.
Stevens,
Yeah,
the god.
Fisher Stevens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Yep, Short Circuit. Anyway, so him and Jerry are in that little boardroom area, and maybe boomer moment of television history is they're watching the tape and Logan walks in and he closes his laptop and they're like, yeah, put up the thing. Do you think um who is with Logan?
What's her
uh,
name? She was like she doesn't have any big scenes anymore, but she was
it's
it the
almost like a
like the
publicist, I
yeah like
think.
like the spokesperson like a publicist. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, whatever her name is, doesn't matter. So I wonder if she like knew and was like trying to get him to look like an idiot, but he instead of opening his laptop and closing the video quickly, he plugs in to the screen and then opens his laptop like an absolute idiot.
A jagaloon.
So funny. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that is, as our resident IT person, I got pissed for like a while, thinking like, dude, why just open it? And then, but then people pointed out on Reddit, and I've definitely like the people that you see in high positions at companies that do not know how to
Open a
operate basic.
PDF or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
they don't know how to like. Oh, I'm in this conference room. I can't get my screen up on it. You just got to go and plug it in for them. It's like you're making $1 million deals and you don't know how to share your screen up to a TV
I
that
know.
when there's like instructions right on there. So, once somebody kind of pointed that out, I was like, yeah, you know what? I do see that a lot. And it's like such a little subtle thing too that the show does that kind of puts it into reality for me at least.
Yeah. You're right.
But Carolina,
Yes. Thank you. Good
you're
call.
welcome. I had to look it up on IMDb.
Oh, hey, that's fine. We're not perfect. We don't know everything.
No, still new at this research stuff.
Who researches before
Oh,
doing
but
a show?
before we leave this scene,
Yeah.
what did you guys think about? We'll start with you, Ryan. I think this is the moment that Logan cuts out Jerry because she kind
Yeah.
of,
Like freezes her out, you mean?
yeah, because she's kind of like in his eyes, and I kind of think so too. She's kind of now thinking in terms of the company and not
Right.
Logan,
Yeah.
and what's best for this company going forward after the merger. What do you guys think about that?
Do you think, well, Robbie, I'll go if you don't mind, but
Yeah.
do you think that Jerry is like not laying traps, but like because of what happened in the last episode with him and Jerry, where I feel like there was a little bit of or was it maybe the end of last season? I don't remember, but Logan like didn't bring Jerry in on something. I'm forgetting what it is. I apologize. But do you think that maybe Jerry's like starting to kind of lay traps or like do things like that because of, she's not loyal to Logan anymore. She's loyal to herself. I mean, she wants to be an exec or a CEO of whatever this company ends up being, I would assume.
I think that she
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Ben. I think that she yeah, she's just looking out for herself. I think she wants to just to, go where she's gonna go. And I think that she's sees that Gojo's coming in. I think that she'll just work for Matson and she doesn't really need Logan anymore, which is fine because everybody's indispensable, in his eyes. And
True.
I give her credit for just saying fuck it. I'm gonna go where I want to go, and it just is what it is on that part. I think that she kind of sees the light, and I don't know if she's probably over Logan, but she's just looking out for her best interests, and I think that she's gonna go where she wants to go. I think she sees that she wants to go work for Matson when Gojo comes in and takes over.
Yeah, and I wonder if I mean, based on what I assume we all think by the end of this episode, if the Gojo deal doesn't happen or things change in some way, then she might end up fucking herself by trying to choose the company over Logan, when she maybe should have just hesitated a little bit and stayed, at least in Logan's eyes, loyal to him.
It's
But I
kind
don't
of
know.
it's kind of a parallel too, where like she's getting ahead of herself, where the kids are getting
The
ahead of
kids.
themselves with Pierce
Yep.
because they're talking about, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and your boy T in the background is like, well, you don't really own it yet.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Jerry it has just a very logical, legal mind, and you know, she's kind of divorced herself from Logan at that point, and she's moving forward. And this is what the next step is, and this is what's going to look good for the company, and this is what I think you should do. So I don't necessarily know if there's any nefarious traps being laid at
Yeah,
this
you might be
point,
right.
but I could see kind of where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, I mean, I work with people that are, like you said, just very like, they're instruction followers. They're this by the book, this is what has to happen next. This is the next logical step. And oftentimes those type of people do very well because they are not fucking around and doing stupid shit.
They're
But
not getting emotionally involved in anything.
right, but sometimes they get left behind because oftentimes business does have emotion and relationships associated with it, and those people are not, there's people, I hate to use the cliche think outside the box, but they are in the box and that's all they can think of.
Or that
um
they know how to politic.
right, that's the other thing. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, we'll see. Something to monitor, I guess. Was the next scene uh Greg talking to Carrie, or does that come later?
Think it's the pizza room. Are they going to pizza maybe? Logan.
Well, so where what it was is we get the transition. So we did skip the scene with the kids because there is something important that happened.
Oh
Excuse
yeah,
me,
what
I
happened?
just Robbie.
Oh
It's contagious, baby.
Um, they get cut off from the helicopter.
yeah, that's right. Yep.
So they were on their way to the city to go to
The
Connor's
rehearsal.
rehearsal. Um, and they get, Logan cuts them off from the chopper. So I think
Get
the
to the
next
chopper.
I think the next scene where Shiv is now laying the groundwork for the conversation with Stewie and the boys.
Right.
Stewie.
Um, so I think the next scene is them getting to the city and having that conversation.
Right. Okay.
With the fantastic on the tarmac, a fantastic line by Roman.
Yeah. I
Where
will
he's
set
talking,
aside several $100,000.
and doesn't he say to Kendall about something about being it's like nice shoes Buddha, what like Tom Ford.
Yeah, nice Tom
He's
Ford's Buddha.
yeah, nice Tom Ford's Buddha.
Because is
I
that when
love
Kendall says that Bruce Lee shit where he's like, be like water or something like that?
Yeah,
No,
some
that's at the end of the episode. I think
Oh, right. Yeah.
he says something about like your tormentor being your greatest teacher.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes. Fucking Kendall. What a fucking tool.
such an idiot.
He's so stupid. Yeah, but that was good. Roman has definitely up there with best lines, best insults.
Yeah.
Roman is throwing. He's Bob Gibson right now, dude.
He's
He's on a
throwing
heater.
heat.
On a heater. He is the MVP of this season so far. He is the best, and I love it. I love it so much.
Would
It's
you say that
crazy.
he's maybe the disgusting brother of the season so far?
It's early. He's in contention. He's definitely in contention. He's the front runner. Um,
He's
it's crazy to me too because I feel like he kind of redeemed himself a little bit at the end of season 3 when they're talking to Kendall when he's having like the breakdown.
Yeah.
But just the way he leaves off with Kendall at the birthday party, that was like my lowest for Roman. I'm like, nah, I'm fucking done with this guy. Like
yeah.
Right.
he's such an asshole.
Oh,
And
at Kendall's birthday party.
what did I say? Did I say Logan again?
I don't remember. But you
Oh,
talking about when he
You
pushed
said
him?
bangers only.
yeah, yeah. And he's like, he's pushing him, he's pushing him, he's pushing him, and then he's like, "You're not a real person. You're not a real person." um. So yeah, that's when I was kind of like, man, fuck Roman at this point. Like he's such a dick. So I know he's like you said, he's Bob Gibson this year, coming in hot. So I'm slowly coming around to my boy Roman.
I don't know.
He was the
I think he's gonna walk the side pretty soon.
he was the original disgusting brother. If you remember, he
It's
was
true.
masturbating in his office at overlooking Manhattan.
He's Mr. Disgusting. There was no brother. He was the only one. He was the
Yeah.
OG.
That's right.
That was it. He was a CEO.
Yeah.
So should we talk quickly about the Greg and Carrie scene? And then we'll get to the rehearsal.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So Greg and Carrie are together because Logan wants Tom to, because great scene, someone brought up the pizza room. He's just like, fuck off, Greg. And Greg, just walks away.
When you put the pizza in the microwave, there's a sog factor.
It's true though.
Oh my, it is very true.
As a resident pizza expert, Greg was correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't do
Oh
that.
yeah.
But you think Logan's saying that shit because he's like wants to like cut costs? He's like, they're ordering fresh pies when they got a perfectly good pie right here? Like,
Yeah.
like you would eat that shit, Logan? Come on.
I was gonna say, when was the last time Logan has ate a slice of pizza, B ate a microwave slice of pizza?
I don't know. I mean, he was eating McDonald's like what, last season or 2 seasons ago?
Was he?
Yeah, wasn't there a scene where he was oh, maybe not McDonald's, but it was definitely like fast food.
I think when they went to the
Someone came to his room and had dinner with him. Who was it? Shiv? Roman?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
He definitely was
Anyway.
eating like a fast food. They were watching a basketball game.
Oh yes, that's right. That's
I
right.
think that was Shiv. I don't
forget.
know. It doesn't
think-
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll
I
move on. We'll
remember.
move on.
But either way, so he asked Tom to basically tell Carrie that it's not gonna happen. And Tom in his fucking awkward way was like, "Oh, she's great. She's got it." And
Yeah.
and
She
then
just might need a couple of years seasoning.
yeah, just like slowly works his way towards no. So then Logan says, "All right, go tell her." So then what does Tom do? What Tom always does. Have Greg do his dirty work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tom sending Greg to do his dirty work when he can barely spit out a sentence sometimes is so funny to me.
I love how he puts it too, because it's such a power dynamic in corporate America where it's like, well, you said you wanted more responsibility.
Oh,
So now, go do this thing that nobody wants to do.
right. Right. Shit. And so he clearly Greg's like kind of like Tom kind of tells him what to say, and Greg sort of takes little snippets of what he told him to say, and he ends up basically telling her that it's the focus group that didn't like her.
Bunch of old men.
Yeah. And
I
she's
love
just
too-
like, well, what'd they say? Let me see the tape.
Yeah. I love too how he can't help himself, where Tom's like, she could say she was good, but don't go too far with it, because then you're gonna give her like false hope, or she's gonna want to know more. And he's like, no, headline, you were great. Like you were great.
I can't believe someone rummaged him in a wine cellar. It's
Yeah.
shocking that he's able to close any deals.
You know what it is, man. I'll tell you this. The boy's 6'7".
It's true.
It's an auto rummage. You're getting rummaged before you even, get to date 2.
I mean,
Big rummage.
most girls can probably just reach out straight and rummage him like this. They don't even have to like go down.
No, you're right. Yeah. Stand up rummage.
Is there anything else we need to say about like this scene with Carrie? I don't know.
I do the two lines I love from the end of the scene is when Carrie's like, if I find out this focus group isn't real, I'm gonna shred you like string cheese,
Yes.
pull you apart
Yeah.
like your string cheese, and then she leaves, and it's just Greg, and he's like, the job is done.
He's so
The job
proud
is
of
done.
himself.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah.
go to sleep tonight, like satisfied. Like he's like, I did it. I did what
Yeah.
I was asked. I did the
Yeah.
hard job.
It always amazes me how Logan can't just do things, like simple things like that. Like he knows that Carrie is not good at all, but he just can't pull the trigger and man up and say it face to face to her. I just think that obviously he has his lackeys do it for him, but
Right.
any
Because
any anytime, like I said previously in the beginning of the episode, anytime we get Greg in uncomfortable positions is when he's at his best. And it's one of my favorite parts of the series is when he's super uncomfortable. And I forgot what she said to him in the beginning of the episode about I forgot, like not in the beginning of that scene when he leads her into the office and she's like, well, you kind of touched every other girl in the city or
yeah,
Yeah,
what
something
was
like
that
that.
about?
he goes, can I grab you for 5 minutes? And she goes, why not? You grabbed every other woman in Manhattan.
Is she suggesting that he's like a womanizer? I guess maybe
I think so. I
the
mean, he's a
disgusting
disgusting
brothers.
brother. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
the
playboy, baby.
the reputation precedes him at this point.
Uh,
So
Either way,
let's so we get back to the boys and Shiv going to they finally get to the rehearsal dinner. I think one of
finally.
my favorite I have a question. This is a very
Yes,
specific question.
I have a question also.
They get out of the car
Yeah,
and Roman, here he is again, our MVP of the year, says we at least have to go in and have a couple what does he say? Passive aggressive martinis.
yeah,
As Robbie, our resident Negroni expert,
yes.
Ryan, one of our bartender experts.
Mixology.
If you were to make a martini passive aggressive, what would you put in it?
Wow, great question.
So I'll let you think. And I came up with it's a very simple recipe for
Yeah.
me. It's going to be a vanilla vodka because you want
Okay.
that blandness because you're being
Right.
passive with a dash of bitters because you're a
Okay.
bitter fuck and you're passive aggressive. So that would be my martini passive aggressive.
I think I would make it with like a room temperature martini glass, and I would just pour slightly, and I mean slightly chilled vodka, and just throw an olive in it. Not even stir it. Not
With like a couple ice chips in it
Yeah, that's it.
on
Just like,
purpose.
oh, you want a drink? Here, here's your martini.
Yeah, I would do the similar thing, but I would grab a pint glass, put it in the pint glass. I wouldn't shake the martini.
No,
I
no,
would make I would be giving dirty looks the entire time. I would make it as far away from that person on the other side of the bar as I can. And then once the drink is done, I slide it across the bar to him.
I love it. I love
That's
it. Those are great answers.
give me a
I th-
milk chocolate.
I would do what I would do too is if they didn't um request gin or vodka, I'd give them both. I'd mix them both together.
nice. And you know what I'm doing? I'm throwing in one of them fucking umbrellas in the fucking drink.
Yeah, because this is a passive aggressive party.
That's it.
Fantastic answer. All right,
Uh,
Ryan, take it away.
so they walk in and Willa's clearly upset, and they're like, at first, kind of like, okay, what the fuck is going on? But I think they maybe even a little were a little like concerned. Maybe maybe not so much for Willa, but for Connor especially. But basically, it seems like they had a little argument. After they talked to Willa, and she's like, "Go with my girlfriends." They go meet up with Connor, and apparently, I guess there was she said I can't do this and went to the bathroom for 40 minutes.
It's a good
Now,
sign. That's what you
my
want to happen the day before the wedding.
Yeah, of course.
yeah. Oh, great sign. Great sign. My question to you, and you don't have to answer it now, but let's answer it maybe at the end. Do you think that Connor is conniving enough to have set this all up to get Logan and the kids together? I don't know if he's that conniving. Maybe someone else did this behind the scenes, but I mean, he seems genuinely upset, but then at the end, she's in bed waiting for him. I don't know. It seems genuine, but that's a thought that creeped into my mind. Like, and maybe I'm Game of Thronesing this a little too much.
I think
But
you might be because I think the speech that well, let's answer at the end. Bring it
okay.
back up because I do
All
want
right.
to answer it.
Okay.
But
I'll quickly say absolutely not.
okay.
That's it. But I'll talk at the end.
um, but I think too, you're getting even before they go up to go see Connor, you're
Mm,
getting what's going to play out the
yep.
rest of this episode and the scenes with Connor. Like they can't even focus on that for more than 2 seconds before they're back to talking about what they're going to do at the board meeting. And then they go up to Connor and they see Connor's upset and Shiv's trying to pull them away and get out of it, get out of it, get out of it.
Yep.
And Roman is like kind of the only I almost did it again. Kendall is kind of concerned with what's going on with Connor, but Roman's the only one that's like he's like, all right, he's taking digs, but he sees that Connor is like in a bad spot.
Yeah. I mean, he
Robbie
told her,
would
what do you say? Give her 10 grand or a jet ski or something.
yeah, or teeth whitening voucher. uh would you Robbie, as one of the top two con heads on this show, what did you think about the scene at the restaurant?
Well, knowing what I know at the end of the episode, but feel bad for Connor, right? He's always an afterthought, and he is what he is, right? He's a little scummy, but that's it just like I said, it is what it is. I felt bad for him. Like I said, he's an afterthought. Like Shiv didn't really have any emotions toward him. Even the kiss or hug she gave him when she first saw him was just like, a little
It's
like
like
again,
that ass out hug you do with
yeah,
people you don't know that well.
like a seventh grade dance. You don't get to catch a boner, peeking out. But yeah, I liked it, but again, I feel for Connor because of the like I said, him being an afterthought, nobody really caring about him, and like you said, Benny, they just majority of them just care about the deal
Yep.
and want to get back to talking about that. And again, like Roman, man, like he is what he is, but he's the only one that basically has any kind of emotion. He does it in a shitty way sometimes, like throwing digs or whatnot, but he really does feel for Connor and what Connor's going through. Um, I thought it was a great scene, but for our resident con heads to show some emotion and I loved Roman, and I'd be remiss to say it was fantastically pleasing to see my boy Stewie
I was going to
waiting
bring it
outside
up.
like that handsome.
Looking like do the kids still say like a snack?
He was looking like a s'mores pop tart. I'll tell you that right now. That boy's got me
Perfectly
going.
manicured.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now. If I wasn't a big con head, I'd be a stew boy. I am a stew boy, but I love that guy.
He'd be your number one boy.
Oh, my number one.
Ryan, what did you think before we get to the bars scene? What did you think about the scene at the restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, I think Robbie hit it on the head where it's basically, everyone just, Shiv and to a lesser extent Kendall, but Kendall as well is just like not super concerned seemingly about Connor. Shiv wants to talk about the deal. Um, and they just, yeah, it's like they're there, but they're not there. Roman is the only one who seemed like he really engaged Connor. Kendall a little, but yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like in the next, not the next scene, but like at the scene at the karaoke bar where Connor's just like, I'm a fucking afterthought, like, because that's how they treat him. He's just
Yeah.
like this is an obligation that they have to be there. They don't want to be there. They're what didn't wasn't Shiv was it Shiv that was trying to say like let's go talk about this instead of going in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they asked Connor, hey, what do you want to do? Like, and Connor says he wants to do karaoke. They
Yeah.
decide that is not what they want to do.
Right.
And we go to the bar in between. And so they get into the bar and they order drinks.
Love that they're
And
with the common people ordering drinks like
yeah,
that.
this my favorite was Connor throwing a little bit of shade at Hogarden when he
Yeah.
when he wants what a regular Joe would drink, a nice German Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
but preferably not Hogarden. I felt that. I felt that because I hate Hogarden and I am
I
a
hate
con head,
I hate
so
Weiss beers in general, but yeah.
me too. They always give me a headache, but
Yeah.
the fact that he name checked Hogarden and said absolutely not made it for me. But we see Kendall get a phone call.
Yep.
And Robbie, why don't you tell us a little bit about that phone call?
Please.
First off, can I just quickly say you feel for these kids sometimes, and then you see them walk into the bar and the shit that the snide comments they were dropping. You're like,
Yeah.
they're just some rich pricks.
Like,
And I
do
want
they
to,
Yeah.
even know how to make a vodka soda? Like,
yeah,
Well,
get
the
fucked.
the only one that would possibly the only one that's like in his element a little bit is Kendall.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
Kendall
yeah.
kind of would end up in a place like that. Like, in his drinking days, he's very comfortable there. And, he's probably been in a bar like that a million times before.
Probably true.
Before I get into the Matson and Kendall piece of it, I want to read a quote from Connor.
I thought you were
He
going to read
said,
an ad.
"No, oh, I wish I haven't done it in a long time."
Yeah.
Connor says, "I want to go somewhere fun and real, away from the fancy dance, a real bar with chicks and guys who work with their hands in grease and
Yeah.
sweat from their hands and have blood in their hair."
Yeah.
God, make this man president, please,
Please,
whatever you do.
never, never change, bud. But as Benny said, Kendall gets a phone call. He removes himself from the bar, goes
Right.
into a little back alley, and takes a FaceTime call from Matson, who's definitely Matson. He's that guy's fit as fit can be. There's no way he's drinking a cola and binging on shit food. He's but
a generic ass cola at
yeah,
11 p.m.
like a Swedish cola. Whoever knows what the fuck he's doing. But yeah, he gets a phone call and he basically tells Kendall, "Hey, I got some inside information. I know what you guys are doing. Uh, don't fuck up the deal because I'll walk and you guys won't have anything. You're getting a nice chunk of change anyway. Don't fuck this up. If anything happens, like he said, I'm gone and you won't get any money." And he also says, he's like he has an affinity for Kendall. I like you, Kendall. And what does he says? What do he say? I don't trust people that sleep or something like that. I forgot what he
Yeah,
said.
something like that. Like how you sleep
he
because he's
has
like, I can't sleep. And
Yeah.
Kendall's like, yeah, me neither. He's like, I don't trust people that sleep.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do. So go fuck yourself, Matson. But in some weird way, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. So we see the conversation. We know that Matson says, "Hey, don't fuck this up for us." But in some weird, strange way, once Kendall hangs the phone, he gives a little smirk and a little smile. Do you think that he knew from that moment he was going to fuck up the deal, or what do you guys think?
Ryan, go ahead.
I think yes. I think that was like the not the in, that's not, but like the catalyst of what he wants to do. Because I think maybe we'll talk about more at the end, but I think Kendall's goal at this point now is to take over the company, what he wanted to do all along. And this is he's gonna use this at the very least to fuck the deal, but maybe at the best, or what I'm saying his goal is to maybe take over. So he's gonna use what Matson said, what Shiv said, what Sandy said, what Stewie said. Like all these things are gonna be like bundled together because they all work together to try and fuck this deal up. So I feel like that's that moment he's just like gonna go for it because I clown on Kendall, but he's not stupid. Like he definitely like can put things together. I mean, is he kind of stupid? Yeah, but not like a full idiot. You know what I mean? What do you
I
think,
you
Benny?
you went a step further than I took it, and I think you're right. And I'll come back to why I think you're right. I just saw it as he's a self-destructive person, and for whatever reason, he heard that from Matson, and it's just like, you know what? Fuck it
Fuck it.
all. Like, yeah, like who fucking, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Um, but I think what makes you right, and he kind of sees a lane for himself here, is he does get the information from Stewie, like the whatever slide that they gave him
Yeah, yeah.
about
He
the
texts Stewie right
numbers.
after.
Yeah. So I think maybe you're right, because he can almost be like, this guy can't even, he's undervaluing the company. He can go to the shareholders with that information, and he could try again to oust Logan. So I think, yeah, I didn't make that connection, but I think you're right there.
Yeah. And Logan would fucking secretly love it if he did that, because then he'd be a killer.
Yeah. What do you think, Robbie?
No, I I agree with both of you. I think I didn't really think of it as how Ryan put it, but I totally agree with that. And the same thing with you, Ben. I agree with you as well. I think that in some weird way, like you said, he just likes to sabotage himself, and this kind of turned him on a little bit. I don't want to use the word turned on, but I feel like it definitely got the wheels going inside of his sick, twisted brain that he could definitely fuck this deal up and sabotage it, which I think that what he wants to do. So
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, both of you guys said it better than me, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I think you both nailed it on the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what I'm doing, which is what I always do, is take it too far. So I might be overstepping a little, thinking that he might be trying to take over the company at this point. Maybe we're not there yet. But I think, Benny, you're definitely right in that his first thought might have just been, fuck it, I'm gonna blow it up. But I don't know. He might be taking into account, like I said, what Shiv, Stewie, Sandy have said, his own thoughts on. I mean, they were watching PGN earlier in the show, which we said they probably had no idea what the fuck they're buying. And the fact that it's all Dookie, he might just be like, I don't want fucking Pierce. Like this is stupid. Like, why not go for Waystar, which is what I've wanted this whole time anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Good points. So we go back into the bar. Kendall
Yep.
goes back into the bar, and boy, Robbie, you must have been living it up in this scene, because we do start talking about what it would mean for them to take Sandy and Stewie seriously, and they're going to actually start discussing this now because of Kendall, and we get a lot of Roman bangers. I
Oh
think
my God, the best.
top of the list is him saying that they're coming at him like Lennon and McCartney, and like he's
Yeah.
George. And he says, I'm not George, I'm John. And then he calls out Connor for being he calls the other ones Ringo and Yoko. And Connor's still Connor, but he just won a charity auction to have drinks with us.
Yeah. So do you think that those mean anything? Like Shiv being Yoko, now I know it's the female, he's equating that, but like that maybe they're saying that Shiv's gonna break up the band, and like Kendall is Ringo because he's like the least talented, allegedly. I mean, there's I'm sure Ringo fans out there.
I just took it as like, not only are you not John and Paul, you're not even George. You're
Yeah.
like the two most again, I'm a Ringo fan, so I wouldn't say it like as a slur like that.
No,
But
but
you're
I
like,
think that's like the opinion
yeah,
of most
yeah,
people.
yeah. Like you two you're just insignificant. You're just asshole ancillary characters in this. And I think what kind of kicked it off was Roma gets a text from dad,
Yep.
Yeah.
Take
and they think
care.
it's yeah, they're very upset. They think it's a betrayal.
Yep.
Um, Ryan, tell us a little bit about the text and the reaction to it.
I think I forget what the exact text was, but I do remember like he was defensive at first,
He
but
says
then he,
we need to talk, I think.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Um, and he was defensive at first, but I think knew very quickly that that's not going to fly. Like they're pressing him on this, and I loved when they're like, "I need to look at your phone." He's like, "Yeah, go ahead. It's all dick pics."
He's grown to love them. And when he's talking about Shiv's phone, he's like, what is it? Just a WhatsApp group of like the world's largest WhatsApp group of you just sending pictures of your snatch.
Yeah, yeah. So
uh,
was this the scene where they like talk about what the whole thing, like how the whole texting started? It was,
yeah,
right? Yeah. So he's
yeah,
telling him about on his birthday, he said, happy birthday, take care.
yeah. And he signs it Roman.
Yeah. Well, which what's funny is I think most people initially would say like that's weird. Why would your son sign it Roman? But they probably change phone numbers all the time.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or like,
Logan's getting new phones all the time. I mean, you
yeah.
see Roman pissing on his phone in one
Yeah.
episode, so it could have been a new phone. Um, but we get, he gets called. He's
Yep.
betraying them. He's being way too friendly with that take care that he signs off with.
Yes.
Robbie, what did you think about the scene at the table at the bar?
First off, there's nothing wrong with being George Harrison. So, I
Agreed.
mean,
Agree.
but poor Connor couldn't even get like a Billy Preston
That would
Something.
have been
or
nice.
or a Pete Best, maybe. I don't know, man. I was like, again, there's just Connor's just sitting there minding his own business, and he's just
Getting
shitting.
roasted.
But I mean, he did piss me off though with the whole fucking texting his dad and kind of telling him that they were talking to Sandy and Stewie. So that pissed me off though. But that's to be expected by these fucking scumbags. Um, I love the scene. I just love when Roman gets on it. Yeah, Roman gets on the defensive and he just throws little digs and gets pissed off. He's so good at just like acting like that and just like pissed off and I don't care. Fine, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Look at the phone. I don't care. But you know he
Yeah.
cares and he's pissed off. But
He's
yeah,
mad he got found out.
yeah, he's mad he got found out. But yeah, I mean I thought it was greatly acted by all of them. I mean, of course they're all going to be on the defensive because they would all do the same fucking thing. I feel like each one of them would backstab the other. I mean, they've done it before,
Right.
but it kind of again it's he I don't know if he talked to Carrie or whatnot, and or he just texted his dad out of the blue. But again, he's the only one still, that's showing that emotion, that's still yearning. I mean, they all are, but he's still yearning for his dad's love. And just a quick hug would be nice.
Yeah. I
So I
agree.
mean, and I think we
I
get it.
don't.
We'll get into it at the end, but I feel like Logan knows that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if Roman tipped him off. I think it was Connor. At some point, Connor probably
He
texted
does.
him.
No, no, I'm sorry, I meant Connor.
Okay,
Connor,
okay.
yeah, I didn't mean to. I was talking about Connor. Connor tipped him off, and that's what pissed me off. Like I was mad about Connor doing that, but
Yeah.
that's Con. That's a con man.
Yeah.
So before Connor gets his wish and they go to the karaoke bar, I do want to point out one more Roman line because you know what? This is just turning into a Roman stand fest. When they're talking about when Kendall comes back in, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna eat. We're gonna get. Oh, look, they have wings. I wonder which beast they snip these wings from."
He
uh,
says he calls it something else, something funny. It's like
creature or something.
something, yeah, something funny. But to one of Robbie's points, really quick before we move on to karaoke, the you're right. Like, yeah, maybe not all of them are talking to dad, but so Roman was talking to dad and Matson, maybe other people. Kendall's clearly talking to Matson and Stewie, both kind of behind backs. Shiv, I can't, I don't have, I mean, Sandy and probably other people. So, like, they all are doing some of their own things in other areas. So, like, they're all pissed off he's talking to dad. I get it. He's public enemy number one at this point between the three of them. But, like, none of them are innocent. They're all doing their own shit, looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a good
So
point. That's true.
yeah. So we do, like Benny said, grant Connor's wish and they go to a karaoke bar. And I love the fact that, and I had to look this up because I'm not the resident music guy like Robbie is, but um, Connor decides to do a song by Leonard Cohen called Famous Blue Raincoat. I don't know if you guys knew that song, but and apparently, so I did look it up. Apparently, it was an appropriate song to pick because it's about a man writing a letter because his wife or his fiance leaves him for another man, but then comes back, and he knows that he can never like make her as happy as this other man. So I feel like Connor is just really exuding his emotions, like like you said before, emo Connor, with this song choice. I mean, it's definitely not a banger. It's not going to get the
No,
crowd going.
There was
It's
no Desperado.
no, it
no,
was
it
not.
wasn't.
I can't hear Desperado and not think of Seinfeld.
I know, me too.
I cannot. I thought Witchy Woman was going to be next.
Oh, which a woman.
Witchy Woman. Um, would you guys say, Robbie? Like I said, as a resident music expert, what'd you think of Connor's song choice?
Um, it's basically get the bath drawn, get the razors ready, and
Give it the old
it's good
Luke
night.
Wilson and Royal Tenenbaums.
It's good night, Irene. Sit, sitting here reading "Don't Kill Myself" books. Uh, again, Roman with a fantastic throwaway line as they're going into the secret room, and he tells that girl who's singing Wonderwall like it's not going to work out or something like that.
Yeah.
Your
Like the
marriage is a
wedding,
sham.
yeah, your marriage is a sham. And then didn't he say something else? No, maybe that's next episode. Um, no, that was a. I love when a show nails the musical choices. Like Ryan, I didn't do any research on the song, but if you knew the backstory of that song, like you just said, you would be like, okay, I get it. So I love that. And yeah.
Knowing this show's music choices, I'm surprised he didn't like hum along to the fucking theme song.
That's what
Oh
I'm
my
saying.
God.
Like it was just a Succession theme song they were doing at the karaoke bar.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
No, yeah. Okay, so back to my bullshit. It was I thought it was a great scene, and like I said, as the music expert, I wish I knew more about the song before, but great choice. So thank you, Ryan, for letting us know.
Yeah, I did. I did a little research.
A little
I don't do a
search, a
lot.
My
little of a
man.
search.
A little search, like the kids say. So, I don't think much other else happened before Logan shows up. Right? Am I missing anything?
Connor reveals that, he texted
Yeah.
and he's on his way. So that's
Yeah.
it.
So Logan shows up, and just when he was walking into that karaoke bar, I mean, he didn't want to. He clearly wanted them to come out to him. But for some reason, I just found that so funny that Logan Roy, fucking multi-billionaire magnate, is just walking around this fucking karaoke bar.
Yeah,
I
in
just,
Koreatown.
yeah, I just thought it was so funny. But he gets in the room, and I don't know. But Benny, you want to take us through this scene a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about with the range of emotion you see with Logan. I mean, this is the most. I'm so conflicted about the scene in a way because I mentioned last week how Logan knows exactly what he needs to do when he needs something, but can turn it off so quick when he's got you where he wants you.
Right.
So he launches into some version of an apology,
Yeah.
and the kids start pressing him on as Carrie interjects, and they throw their jab at Carrie, and they go back to Logan. Um, and he does, he says he loves them. But he's also desperately pleading for them to vote yes on the deal and let the Gojo acquisition go through. But what did you guys think of the quote unquote apology from Logan? Did he mean it? Is this just a ploy for him to get what he wants? Um, I'll finish up, but Robbie, what do you think?
Watching that and then watching Brian Cox go to work and put on a fantastic acting performance, I was felt so bad, and I was like, this is such a genuine apology. And then I had to smack myself in the face and say, don't you dare. Don't you fall into the trap because this is a fucking evil dictator, billionaire mogul scumbag. I I just can't trust the man's apologies, knowing what I've known and what I've seen over these past three and a quarter seasons, I guess. I didn't think it was genuine. I just think he knows how to twist the knife and turn the emotions on for his kids because in the end, all they really want is a genuine apology. And they, like you said, they pressed him on it and he couldn't even give it. He gave like one half-hearted apology or something else, but there was so many other things that he's done to them in their whole lives. Like even with the whole like Connor reveal, like what he did to Connor's mother and didn't even care about Connor his whole life and how he is to hit, Roman and even he hit Roman maybe back in season one, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was one.
So I it's so good when a show can do this and a character can make you feel emotions for him, even though he's a scumbag. And I did, but I turned it off and I was like, I can't I can't trust this guy after what he did to them. So I did not think it was a genuine apology. I just think it was a man who wanted to get an apology from them or wanted to, get some sincerity out of them so they can kind of, not go through with the deal. As they said, they had a lot of as the kids say, OJ, little juice.
Ryan, what do you think?
Do you ever start saying something that you don't believe, but by the end you believe it?
A couple
Because
times on
that's
this
what I
podcast,
kind
yeah.
of feel like Logan started. What'd you say?
I said a couple times on this podcast, yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. That I feel like he went in there and was like, all right, I've tried yelling at him. I've tried threatening him. I'm gonna try and go in with like, with the soft touch, see if this will work. And he, I mean, he's clearly trying to manipulate them no matter how he can. But I feel like by the end, like he almost kind of was like, oh yeah, I am kind of an asshole. He'll never admit that to anybody, but I don't know. I just felt like he might have actually been sincere a little bit at a certain point. But I think overall he's just like all the tools in the toolbox. All right, like again, like I tried threatening him, I tried being a dick, tried yelling at him. None of that worked. Maybe these fucking softies need an apology, and that'll work on them. And then after that whole thing, just goes back to what he normally said. He didn't yell it really, but he's just like, you're not serious people, which
You're
I
fucking
mean,
dopes.
you
Yeah.
fucking dopes. Like I loved it. Great lines. I think he like for like 40 seconds believed his own apology and then was just like, these fucks. Like
Yeah.
seriously.
I'm super, super torn on it, man. Like I really have been going back and forth on whether he meant it or he didn't, because you're getting a tone from him that you have not gotten once
Right.
the whole series, because there is that, and you've got a little bit the first two episodes that he's living with a little bit of regret, or he's living with a little bit of emptiness that the kids aren't around anymore. So I think there's part of him that just wants them all back together, as toxic as the relationships are.
Right.
They all kind of thrive on it, and he's not his best self without them around in some fucked up way.
Right.
I totally agree that, it is like, I mentioned in the other episode, he's so capable of just doing whatever it takes in the moment, like we saw with Shiv to get Kendall back in season 2 when he's going to give her the company. It- Robbie, you hit it right on the head where, it's what a great performance by him to make you feel all these feelings and put all this doubt in your head in like this little 2-3 minute scene that they have. Man, I don't know. I don't know where I'm landing on this one, because what you mentioned, Ryan, with the way that he leaves, if he was doing it for show, he would have like blown up and been like,
Right.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I didn't
Right.
even want to do this anyway. I'm out. But there's almost like a, man, you guys.
Like
And it's all,
disappointment instead of anger. Like
yeah. but it's also his fault because
Oh yeah.
he's not given them any reason to take him seriously, to take this apology seriously. It's like such a suit. There's so many layers to this scene and this apology that 24 hours after, I'm still thinking about and still trying to figure out, the real meaning of his words. I don't know. I wish I had an answer. I just don't.
Yeah.
And you're right, because like you just said, he hooked me in right away. And it wasn't even like this big long monologue. It was like a couple of minutes of him just like getting into it and apologizing. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's got me feeling sorry for him. And I know that he's a big piece of shit. I was like, is this really genuine? So, I mean, it was just fantastic acting. And obviously that should become, you know, with Brian Cox in his Logan Roy performance. It's just great stuff.
And I mean, he knows too. Like you see how smart he is, where he knows the type of person that Matson is.
Yeah.
Where even we didn't mention it earlier, but when Shiv is like, "Nah, he's just saying that. That's negotiating 101."
Right.
Oh, but he really means it. Yeah, that's negotiating 102. But
Right.
you see Logan like, no, you guys like, this is the type of person that he is. You're not
He's
listening
gonna
to me.
walk. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna walk. This is gonna blow up for what, like another 100 million, like, which again, hey, I'll take the 100 million, but
Yeah.
um, he's actually trying to teach them something in this moment, and their whole relationship it's not allowing this lesson to be taught because they're too caught up in the 40 years of history that they have.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I don't. Maybe we'll get a little more in the episodes to come, but I think it's difficult to really say one way or the other at this point, whether he meant it or what. But I think you're right. I think both of you, everyone's right to a certain extent. But I liked your point, Benny, about that he's trying to teach them something and they're just like, nah. And that's why he's like, you fucking dopes.
and
I'm trying to get you to learn. He's just like, you're not serious people.
and this whole storyline on is just showing you how egotistical Shiv is,
Yep.
how Kendall, like Robbie, you mentioned, he's smart, but he's not as smart as he thinks he is, and he thinks he
Same with
has this.
Shiv.
Yeah, they both think that they're like, they know exactly what they're doing, and they don't.
Right.
And I think this whole thing, I maybe we'll do Connor first, but as much as people are like calling what Roman is about to do, and I think we all know what Roman is about to do, a heel turn,
Nah.
how can you blame him? He's been trying to like talk sense into the both of them for so long, and you see how awkward he is in this scene. Like he does want his apology,
Yeah.
but he also, I think, knows what Logan is saying is right.
Right. And was it in that scene that we might as well just I guess get into it and we can come back to Connor and like the ending with Connor, but the does Logan's or does one of them say when it's Logan and Roman together that like something about knowing who you are, like what you're
Mm-hmm.
good at? So
Logan
like
Smart
does,
people
yeah.
know, smart people know that they're smart or something like
right.
that.
Something like that. And that kind of fits in with what you're saying, Benny, with like Kendall and Shiv thinking that they're something they're not. So maybe they're, in Logan's eyes, they're not smart because they're not. They don't know themselves, even though they think they do. And maybe Roman does know himself. Like he kind of was like, "You want that from me?" And I think it was partially so Roman saying like almost like, Dad, you want me? Like you need me? But a little bit also like, you think I can do that? Like, do you think I'm capable? So I think maybe in this instance, I don't know if it'll play out in the whole season, but like in this instance, Logan is A, kind of playing Roman, but also B, like seeing how he reacts and what he does. It's like a test. Like he's doing more
Feeling
than
him
one
out.
thing at one time. Go ahead.
And that he's feeling him out. And that's what makes me think the apology is not sincere, because then now he's got Roman one on one and he knows exactly
Right.
what to do to Roman.
Right.
So like as a group, he kind of knew what to do with them as a group because that's what they wanted. And now he's got Roman and he knows what buttons to push there. So, while I feel that the whole Logan thing with the kids was sincere, that next scene that comes directly after it shows me that, he's on his like conniving game.
Right. And then going back again, kind of going back, and we're going in circles, but it's appropriate. Isn't it Connor then who's saying, like, you want, like, to Roman, like, you want daddy to love you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
Connor knows what's going on. Like, yeah, like, Connor's an idiot, but, like, he's not that dumb. He can see stuff that's going on. What does he say to Shiv and Kendall? You want money or something? Or I don't remember.
I think that just that, like I don't remember exactly what he said to
Uh,
the two of them.
but it was
Um,
whatever it was. But I think the important part, which kind of sets up the following scene, which we already started talking about, is Roman does a lot. Roman wants power, he wants influence, he wants wealth, he wants whatever control, but he ultimately wants approval from his dad. And Logan knows this, so he's using that, as well as, I think, testing him. He's feeling him out, seeing what he can get with him. Because if he, I don't know how the numbers shake out, but like if he can get Roman on his side,
I
I
think
don't
it's going to
know if
be that one vote is going to
I
make a
think it's the
difference.
one vote can make the difference. But if they're all united, then it doesn't. So
Yeah.
I
I
don't
that's feel
know.
like that's just going to be that one vote can sway it.
The way he told Roman to put his fucking hand down in the first vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you better be sniffing your armpit, Romulus.
Yeah.
So we do got to get to our disgusting boy and our shit show at the Fuck Factory of the week. But before we do, we would be remiss
Yes.
as two huge con heads and
Yeah,
one
please. I was gonna say.
guy so on the con head front, currently not ready to vote for a third party, but we get probably the most serious and the most, honest scene from Connor in the whole series. And he talks about, how they're going to fuck this deal. And it's because they need love from daddy so badly.
Yep.
And we get a little insight onto his psyche. And he says that, he has, I'm going to paraphrase it because obviously I'm not going to do the monologue justice, but he doesn't need love. He's learned to live without it. He's been ignored from a young age. So whether or not Willa comes back, he'll be fine
Yep.
because he's learned to adapt to not having love in his life. It's his superpower. Um, and he leaves and he goes home. We'll cut to the end, and he does find that Willa is waiting for him, which is kind of a nice way to wrap up that story. Two-part question. Ryan, what did you think of the scene, and why is Willa back in the bed? Is it true love, or is it just because it's her best option?
Well, I mean, I love the scene. Um, Connor, the actor did great, and getting that, um, it's not a realization for Connor, but the realization of the viewer that Connor does know himself. Like, you think he's just kind of an affable idiot where he's just like, yeah, I'm a Roy and like
I'm
whatever,
a
like,
rich boy.
yeah, rich boy, my family loves me and this and that. Like, he realizes they don't, like, really give a fuck about him. I mean, they might, but they don't show him that they do.
They don't take him
Uh,
seriously.
yeah. I mean, because he's not a serious person, like Logan said to all of them. Um, but I think, I don't know. I mean, I think I think it's a mix, like a lot of things in real life are. Like, it's, she maybe is convincing herself that he's her best option, but also, I mean, everything that comes with it. Like, it does come with a lifestyle that she would never get with anyone else. I mean, unless it was um that guy when they went to that Republican conference and that guy was hitting on her. He's from Office Space, I think. He's in a
Yeah,
bunch of shit.
Stephen Root.
Yes, who I love.
Yeah.
So maybe with someone like that, but pretty much Connor is Willa's ticket to the lifestyles of rich and famous. So I think that's definitely part of it, but I think she does in some way love him or care for him at least. I don't know.
Robbie.
Well, I'd be remiss as the notable fashion expert on this show to
Oh, his
not
suit.
talk about the con man's three-piece suit.
Yeah,
I mean,
fantastic. I was actually trying to, when he puts the jacket on, you could see like a big red dot on the inside on the label. No joke. I spent 45 minutes before trying to figure out what company that was, but go ahead.
you think it's Gucci?
I couldn't find it.
They're probably somebody probably said like the Burberry handbag last week. They'll probably look up Connor's suit this week, hopefully,
Yeah.
because he
Really
was looking.
quick, I said it to my wife. That suit looks very similar to the suit I wore on our wedding day.
You got
Very
that style,
similar.
babe. You got
Come,
that style.
I do. My vest was different, but like the suit jacket and pants was that same blue material. I mean, I looked
Like
fucking
that
great.
texture. It's got that texture.
Yep.
how can you not be a con head after that? The similarities are fucking endless.
Because he's a dope.
But
I'm a dope too, though. So I guess maybe I should be a con head.
like we're all like we said in the beginning, we're not serious people.
It's true.
But I
So what do you
think
think about Willa?
well, first off, I'll talk about Connor real quick.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I thought there was a great scene acted by the Don Alan Ruck. Mr. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, fantastic movie, love it better than Back to the Future. Anyway,
Wrong.
I'll be I digress. No, I just love I don't know, I just love dramas or backstories that just show like a person's upbringing and how that shaped them to who they are as an adult, right? It could be any kind of little childhood trauma or anything like that. But that's a great line by Connor, right? You just learn to live without love, and that's his whole life. He's never been loved by anybody, right? So I thought that was great. And again, you just feel sorry for the con man, and it kind of you just kind of see like who he is as an individual and how that shaped him to who he is today. Obviously, he's an afterthought, and even Logan's about to jaunt over to the Amalfi Coast on the day of his wedding to go hang out at Matson and strike it and kind of talk to him. So, I mean, Connor, another afterthought. I do think Willa does love him, fully love him, probably not. But like you said, Ryan, the lifestyle, she'll never get that, right? Who's gonna spend millions of dollars on some shit ass play, right? Nobody.
Yeah.
But I think that's a lot of like marriages, like with the rich and famous. I feel like, a lot of these women don't like these men because they're nice people. They like the lifestyle. And I think it's maybe 70% lifestyle, 30% love. Just don't know where is she going to go from there? Like you said, Stephen Root maybe, but other than that, I think it's a package deal, but more along the lines of the lifestyle than the love.
Yeah. I think you guys, you've said it all. Honestly, like there's not much I can add. Obviously, as a con head, it was a fantastic scene. It was a fantastic speech from him. I agree with that's our best option. But we also get that same thing from Kendall when Shiv is like, nah, maybe this is a good thing for you. And Shiv and Kendall and Roman were like, no. Like you're not getting better than Willa. Like you need to make this work.
Right.
So yeah, no, I mean everything you guys said was spot on. So we've reached the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, real quick. I would have loved for them to put Willa's tracking on the big screen so everybody could have watched.
Oh, we didn't even mention any of that. Oh my god. My favorite was like, oh, she's in the East River. Oh no, she's on the bridge.
what was the other one? Like she was somewhere. I forgot. Like it wasn't a seedy place, but
she's at like a
laundromat, and Roman's like probably washing her panties.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's good stuff.
So good. So we reached the end of the episode. Now we have to ask the question we asked last week. Ryan, have we pulled you over to our side? Was it a great episode? Are you still on the fence? How do you feel?
I'm still kind of on the fence. Like I liked it. I loved discussing it with you two, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like anything super different to me. Like, yeah, there was definitely good scenes, and funny lines and interesting things going on, but it's just like I can't get past that. It's like kind of the same shit that's already happened, and I realize that that's probably pretty standard for actual business. But I don't know. I liked season episode 1 a little better. But I still liked it. But it's just the fact that it has a 9.2 on IMDb is like fucking shocking to me.
This episode,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I really think it was one of the best episodes.
I've seen that a lot of people are really sucking this episode's dick, but I just at the end of it, watching it, I was like,
you
okay.
know what I thought a lot about this episode? I was, and a little bit in the first season, but definitely this episode, I was like, wow, this is the final season.
Yeah,
Like it just feels like we're moving towards
towards an ending, a conclusion.
towards ending, towards big things happening. Maybe not the hugest, things that are going to shake the earth, but that scene with Connor, to me, it was like, wow, this is a final season because we're just getting so much. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I think Connor might not factor in much the rest of the season. That might have been kind of like
no,
a little
definitely
bit
not.
of a swan song
Yeah,
for him.
not definitely. I don't think he's going to be a major player,
No.
but it was nice to get that backstory and like
Yeah,
to get a little bit out of him. What do you say we move on to our awards for the week, Ryan?
I think you're right because I think we're running long as usual.
Yeah, we're very long, but wouldn't have to be this long if it wasn't a fantastic episode. But go
Fair, fair. So,
ahead.
um, last week we introduced our newest and greatest awards. The disgusting brother of the week for who won this episode, and shit show at the fuck factory for who lost this episode. So why don't we start there? Who wants to go first with shit show at the fuck factory?
I think I went first last time, so if anybody wants to grab it, go ahead.
Robbie, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go because
Please.
my shit show at the fuck factor this week is the loser of the week is that diabolical evil son of a bitch, Kerry.
Oh, you fuck.
Damn it.
I needed that first pick because I knew somebody was taking her.
Oh,
Just an all around tour de force of evilness this episode. The bangs, the black suit, the hands, the smiling during the abduction news cycle sequence. Her just being, her wanting a polio string cheese, Greg.
yeah.
It's all it was all a just well acted, fantastically written performance by Kerry. Zoe Deschanel's her name. What's her name? Zoe Winters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he went this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So anytime I get to see Carrie fail is a great night for me. And it's just a testament to her acting skills for her to make me hate her so much. But Carrie, it's Utah, baby. You are not gonna be in the big leagues. You're down in single A riding a bus with the other people. So yeah. Hopefully News 12 was hiring because ATN ain't it for you, baby. So Carrie, you're my loser of the week.
Wow. Damn it. I was trying that whole time you were talking, I was trying to think of someone else. And so I think I'm gonna go with for my shit show at the fuck factory for this week. It's gonna be Shiv. And I think mainly because I think she looked the worst in this whole episode of everything going on. Like she didn't give any fucks about Connor. She wanted now Kendall was a candidate as well, but I think at least his motivations are, and positive isn't the word, but probably beneficial to himself. Whereas I feel like Shiv's motivations for trying to fuck the Gojo deal are just purely anger. Like she just wants to fuck over everybody, mainly her dad and Tom. But that's not going to be good for her or good for her siblings. She's just, I don't know. She sucks this week. So that's why
Mm.
she's my shit show at the fuck factory.
My shit show at the Fuck Factory, loser of the week. I have a tie.
Wow.
It is Sid and
I was
Jerry
going to say Sid.
because they are both on the outs. Sid gonna get fired 100%.
Yep.
And if this deal falls through, man, Jerry is going to be in the doghouse and at the bottom of the trust tree if she doesn't get fired. So I think those two for me are the losers of the week.
Agree.
Nice. Good choice.
Do you think it's telling that all of our losers of the week were women?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not
Misogyny,
great.
baby. This is a misogynistic podcast.
You better find a woman to give the disgusting brother of the week, the disgusting sister.
Oh my
We need
God.
disgusting sister.
All right, well, you're going first because you just went last.
Oh boy. All right, I get the snake pick. Um, my disgusting brother of the week is I'm gonna go Connor.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be a conhead homer and say that, he showed some chutzpah this week. He put the family in their place, or at least the siblings in their place. And I think he finally stood up for himself and let them know what was going on. He got Willa back in the end. He's going to have a wedding. I think he might end up being on the other side of this award next week because it seems like a couple people are going to be skipping on the wedding. But for this week, I got to say, I got to put him on top. So he is my disgusting brother of the week.
Yeah. So I have a couple candidates for this. Um, I'm not going to take the one that I think Robbie might take. So I'm going to go with Logan.
Oh, that's stinky. That's poopy.
Is that who you're going to pick?
Yeah, because I can't pick Roman again. It would be faux pas.
You can do whatever you want. It's our fucking show.
You're right.
Yeah. Um, and the main reason why I'm picking Logan is to go back to something that we've said a few times, but that Tom said that is just constantly ringing in my head is that nobody fucks Logan. Logan does the fucking. And I think unless he dies during this season, I think he's going to get what he wants. And I think that it doesn't mean he's going to be, you know, still CEO of this whole empire, but I think he's going to get what he wants in the end. And that might be one of his kids at the helm, or whatever. Maybe it is sell out to Gojo. We don't know. We'll see. But I think, few ups and downs this week for Logan, but I think in the end, he's going to get what he wants with Roman showing up. I mean, that's exactly what he wanted with this episode. Robbie,
Great choice. That's what I was going to pick, and I think it's a
I'm sorry.
fantastic choice. It's all right. Hey, it's your show, baby. You do
Our
what you
show.
want. Yeah, but you do what you want. Um, I'm. I don't want to pick Roman. I already told you how much I think he's Bob Gibson. I think he's Sandy Koufax. I think he's Jordan 91 right now. He's on an absolute tear. So one-liners out the gate all over the place. But my disgusting bro of the week, winner of the week, is fucking Stewie. It's just
That's who I
so
I
thought you
knew
were
it.
going to pick.
I knew it. I knew it.
it's just so great to see that fucking handsome man back on the screen. Everything about him I love. The character, the beard. What did he have a fucking toothpick in his mouth, in his hand?
Might
He
have.
was Razor Ramoning him.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're the
Chico.
bad guy, when you're Chico Ramon, there's nothing better than him, and that makes you more cool and chewing on a toothpick. So it was great to see Stewie back. I don't know, something about Stewie that I love. I love the act. I love every scene that Stewie's in. I love his voice. I just love the way he comes across on the screen. Um, I can't wait to see more of Stewie and see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's invited to the wedding and he wears one of his fantastic suits next week. So we'll see. So Stewie, you're back, baby, and you're my disgusting bro of the week.
Quick prediction, Robbie. If he is invited to the wedding and he wears a suit, do we see ankles or no ankles?
Oh, Stewie's a big ant guy.
I knew it.
Agreed.
Ben, what do you, Benny,
Agreed.
right? Big ant?
100% big ant guy. And as con heads is going to hurt us to hear this, but Connor better watch out because he might be leaving the wedding with Willow.
Oh boy.
Without a doubt. I mean, Stewie's got those fitted suits. And if the ank's showing, probably some Ferragamo's on his feet.
Wow. So in we're not going to talk about any other shows because we don't have time to do so.
Yeah, boy, we went long.
We went fucking long. But I do want to quickly, before we wrap up, shout out the First Lady for sharing that video where
Oh shit, I didn't watch it.
You didn't?
Oh
No.
my God.
Benny, watch it after this because Greg clearly says, "Let the boys watch."
No,
So I
he
gotta.
doesn't.
He
100%.
does.
It
He
shocked
does.
me.
Oh boy, we got to redo the intro.
I know. I gotta. I don't think I'll have time to do it, but for next week, I'm gonna try and isolate that audio and put it right in there.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to like,
Maybe we could
Matt.
clip the video for social media.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
I'll
to.
see what I could do with that. We should redo the intro, and we should get Will Ferrell drops, and we should get uh Greg drops in there.
All right. I'll see what I could do for next week for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've got a quick turnaround time, babe.
Yeah, I want to try and get this out. Should I drop this tonight or should I wait till tomorrow morning?
Get it out tonight.
All right, fuck it.
We're perfect. We don't need any edits.
No, we didn't do anything wrong. We
Didn't
didn't
do
go
anything
long.
wrong.
You didn't hear me say and 15 times.
No, yeah, I'll get it out tonight. So thank you for listening this long. Hopefully you enjoyed our analysis, and our stupidity. It was, as usual, a fucking delight to spend some time with you two talking about this show that I don't
Please.
like as much as you guys, but I still like. Anything you
Uh,
guys want to say before we wrap it up?
Thank you, Brian, for the email.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope you're
big
still
time.
listening all the way to the end of this. Please, if you're, we mentioned at the top, but please, more emails like that. Give us your insight. Let us know if you want to be on. I know Anthony's probably going to be on wants to be on one of these, so
Nice.
that'd be nice. But anybody else, please let us know.
LTBW podcast at gmail.com. Robbie, anything you want to say?
No, like I said, more emails, please. Follow, rate, review, follow the show, like the show, 5-star on Apple, Spotify, wherever else you get it. If you're poor on a Google Chromecast or whatnot. And like Benny said, we'd love to have people on. Like Anthony be great. I would trying to get Brian on. Like you said, his showers run long, so we'll see.
If we have a fourth on here, it's going to be like a 3-hour episode.
Oh, I know.
Oh my
I know.
God. All right. Well, thank you again. We love you. Robbie, tell the people good night.
Hey, good night, Carrie. Congratulations on losing your betrayal, Cherry.
Good one.
Nice. Connor, you'll always have somebody that loves you and me.
That's true. But not me.
You fucking
Ay,
bastard.
ay, ay, son of a bitch.